how to use an API in JavaScript. And here I'll show you how I did it. So let's open that up with a live server. First, I wanted to show the API that I used. It's Pokey API. There's the website up there. And the way this works is there's a link. Well, here's the direct link to the Pokemon. So this shows all of the information about the Pokemon. For example, I'll show you its image and the games that it appears in. So first, I started out by creating an input box where the user can input the name, and then two search buttons to search the regular Pokemon or if it's shiny. And then I added a class where I'm going to do some document object manipulation. Over here in the JavaScript, I first started with a getDefaultPokemon function. And to check if this works, well, first you can set the Pokemon name to the value of the search box, which is pkmn name, right there, query selector pkmn.value. And then in here, we're fetching the data, so we're grabbing it from the API. So just like I showed over here on the API, we have this whole link /Pokemon name. To check that it works, you can add the Pokemon's name like this, or you can add that variable name. And this will just load it, and it will give you a promise to say that it will load. But you want it to load now as a JSON. So you use .then repo JSON, and then .then data is, and this is everything that you want to appear in the HTML. So I selected pkmn, which was that div, and I changed the inner HTML, so the image source is this right here. This is a little confusing, but I'll explain how it works right now. So of course this is data. If it wasn't, I could name it red and change this to red, but for the sake of things making sense, I'm going to keep it as data. So remember this here. I'm going to switch over to the API. When you call the API, when you call data, it calls everything inside of here, but we want to get more specific. So to get the picture, you call data, and then you scroll down to see where you can find artwork, which it looks like it's under sprites, and the official artwork is under other, so we're going to do data.sprites.other, and then official artwork is a key in the other file, and then front default is text. So because official artwork is a key, we're going to put it in these brackets here, .front default. So this should get the image of the Pokemon, and then data.name. That just gets the Pokemon name. This displays the Pokemon name, and then this one's a little bit, this one was a little tougher to find, but I'll run through it real quick. So we wanted to show the game that the Pokemon first appears in. So back in our API, we do data.gameIndices, or game indices, and there's 20 items. And I want to pick the 0th item because that's the first game it's appeared in. So game indices, 0th item, .version, .name, and that should pull up the name that the Pokemon was first appeared in. And it's the same here with get shiny, although instead of it saying front default, it says front shiny, and instead of it saying where it first appears, you can say the odds are 1 in 4,000, which are the chances of coming across a shiny Pokemon. So let's see how this works. Raiza, there we go. First appears in Ruby. How about Groudon? I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, first appears in Ruby. That's pretty cool. Let's do Dialga. First appears in diamond. That's pretty cool. This is shiny. Let's do Mewtwo. I think that's how you spell it. Yeah. Very cool. And last but not least, first appears in Pokemon Red, the OG. And that is how you work with APIs in JavaScript.